Welcome to the Get Tailored podcast. Join us as we explore insightful conversations on professional organizing, tackling both internal and external chaos, and discovering the transformative power of clarity and purpose in every aspect of life. If you're loving what you hear, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our channel. Hey there, this is Nicole Taylor with Get Tailored Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is our 8th episode, and I'm just really excited to keep doing this, and your support and everyone who's following me it brings so much joy to me. So if any of these episodes resonate with you, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and welcome. Okay, so my next guest is Bridgette Cooper. Thank you so much for joining me, Bridgette.
Absolutely. Good to be here.
Yeah. So we met through actually Emily, who is a mutual organizer, in a different, I guess, networking thing. And so we ended up starting a mastermind group, and then you started meeting us. And so I've got to know you quite a bit in the last couple of months. Right. And so it's been really fun to kind of, learn about your journey and kind of what, where you've been, where you're going, what you're doing. So tell me all about it. I want to say you have a business called Best.
No.
Nope. BES. I'll let you take the reins, girl.
So the official name of the business is Pro 4 Enterprises.
Okay.
And so the Best that you were referring to, that encompasses those 4 different enterprises. And so throughout the years, this acronym of BEST has changed a bit. So right now I have to actually look at my notes to see what I have.
Okay.
So B is for Bespoke Home and Office Organization. And the word bespoke has just been coming back over and over again. I'm like, what does it mean? I'm going to use it. And so,
what does it mean?
Tailor-made. It's like you. It's tailor, special, just for you type of, unique. So Bespoke Home and Office Organization. So that's the B in the Best. And then Exceptional and Trusted House Sitter.
Okay.
The S is for Superb Singer. I know that sounds really arrogant, but hey, Superb Singer.
I want to hear you sing
and
now.
I do corporate, and I will, corporate and private events. And then the T is for Tender, Loving Caretaker of Pets.
Oh my gosh.
So that just covers the 4 things that underneath the company name of Pro 4 Enterprises.
Okay. So let's go back to I think it's the B. What is it? What is the word
Bespoke.
again? What does that actually mean?
So it used to be in the world of tailoring, like tailor-made clothing.
Okay, so that's what, oh my God, that's cool.
Yeah, and so now it's kind of morphed into all these different fields just to basically mean specific, unique, So if I come in and do any type of organizing for someone's home, it's not going to be, it's going to be per person, not so much everybody, same solution for all people.
Like customizable.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Very similar to why I use Taylor, being that it's my last name.
Right.
Very helpful. However, the premise of Taylor is tailoring my service to meet the needs of my clients. And so that's very similar. I mean, it's the same thing. Yeah. That's awesome.
And my last name is Cooper, which means barrel maker. So
barrel maker.
That's not part of what I do, but hey, it's in there.
You can incorporate some barrel making into that, I think. That's awesome. That is so cool. So yeah, and one thing that really kind of resonated with me while we started talking and getting to know each other was your love for pets.
Oh yeah.
And you have a heart for the doggos and the kitties.
Yep, the 4-leggeds. Not so much the 4-legged lizards and guinea pigs. I mean, I will take
You have some limitations there.
My neighbors across the street have a bearded dragon, and I'm like, no.
That's not...
I like you have to feed him weird things. But yeah, cats and dogs, and there are even certain breeds of dogs that kind of still scare me, I'll be honest. But,
well, sure.
I have jobs that are like people have been flying me to different states to pet sit, because it's so important to have someone that not only you can trust your 4-leggeds with, but your home as well. And that when they come back, everything's going to be almost I try to leave things a little bit better than I found them, you know,
Love
because
it.
I like clean
Yeah.
but I'm going to take care of your pets and love them. And I have 2 dogs that I watch in Queen Creek. I'm going to say their names, Benji and Louie.
Benji and Louie. They're the mascots of the podcast, by the way. We need pictures.
So
I think we need pictures
they're
of Benji
super
and
cute.
and
I will. I'll find some
Louie.
pictures on here.
I would love that.
Benji manipulates me with I give him back massages, and he tried to guilt me when I left last time.
I love that.
And then Louie just likes to sit like right between my calves, and he's just the sweetest thing. But if I see something is wrong with them, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I don't care. I'm just here to dog sit. I'm going to actually reach out to the owner and say, hey, I noticed that, this dog isn't eating, or this dog isn't necessarily, using the restroom frequently. And so I'm there not just to be hanging out, but to actually be caring for your pet and loving them. So.
Right. So I want to kind of dive into like a little bit of like why I'm so intrigued by pet sitting. Is I owned a pet sitting company for 10 years. This isn't a past life. This is like years and years and years ago. And through those experiences, I could write a book about how many things happened while I was in someone's home taking care of their pets. I want to share one crazy story, and then I want you to share more stories. But one story was I was pet sitting for a client downtown Albuquerque. They had 2 dogs, and one dog was like I want to say he was like a cattle mix, when they're short, but they're medium-sized dogs, but they're really hyper, and they're like for cattle train. Back in the day, they would cattle train them to like,
to herd
and stuff. They're a herding type dog, and very hyper, very, very hyper. And so one day, I think I just got there, and I went to usually when I'm like at someone's home for like a week, I'll go grocery shopping for myself because I eat my own stuff and not theirs. So I went grocery shopping. I had a loaf of bread on this high-end, it was a counter. It was one of those higher countertops, not the standard size. And I left my loaf of bread on the counter, and I was gone for a couple hours, and I come back, and there's shreds of plastic from the loaf all over the house. And I was looking, I was like, oh my God, I think they ate the entire loaf. Like the entire loaf of bread was completely gone. And it was like, and then they had the Rottweiler. She had a Rottweiler. Oh my God, this dog is so cute. I love her dogs. And anyways, I just remember panicking because I was like, I'm either going to find a dog dead or completely vomiting or like dying. So I immediately call my client and I'm like, I am so sorry, but I just got home to your house and I found that I didn't even open the loaf yet. The entire loaf is gone.
It's gone.
And I believe one of your dogs completely, ate it. And so should I call the vet? And they're like, no, this happens all the time. And I was like, oh my God. It's like, just don't leave anything out on the counters, like ever. So anyway, I just will never forget the panic I felt. Like, oh my God, do I have to go like take the dog to the vet to get the like stomach pumped,
Right.
Like I didn't know. It was just crazy. So do you have any cool stories? Like different stories?
When I lived in Minnesota, as we say, when I lived in Minnesota, I was watching my friend's golden retriever, and Sydney, may she rest in peace, it was a long time ago.
Aww.
She was the smartest, the sweetest girl, and Therese left the key to her place, and then she went someplace in northern Minnesota where I could not access her.
Okay.
So I get home to go over there, and I take the key, and the key does not work. So she left the wrong key for her house.
Oh, shit.
So all the neighbors are in the hallway. It was a real close-knit community, and they're like, we're going to have to call a locksmith. And so we called a locksmith, and they convinced the locksmith to let me in. And we're thinking that with all these people and noise in the hallway, that Sydney is naturally going to be right there.
Right.
Like, what's going on? So the locksmith opens the door and there's no dog. And I'm like, okay, where's the dog?
Oh, no.
So the locksmith's looking at me like, come on, I just let you in this person's house. And we go all the way to the back. And Sydney's like, she has her own sofa. She has her own room. She's laying there. She might as well have been, smoking a cigarette because she was like, what's up? She's like, so not a good watchdog. But, yeah, so that was the craziest thing. But otherwise, your story about the dog getting into stuff. I have friends in Omaha, standard poodles,
Yeah, yeah.
And Prince is so tall that I don't care how far back you put stuff on the countertop, he's going to get it. So
Yeah.
I learned from his owner not to leave just nothing edible because he's tall enough to reach it. So I was just really careful with that. So
yeah, I mean, you hear these stories where like pets are allergic to chocolate, right? So this just happened. So I have a little dog. His name is Scout. He's tiny. He's like this.
I think I saw Scout.
Yeah. He's like a
really
Jack Russell Terrier mix with like something else because he doesn't look like a Jack Russell. He's not white or black. Anyway, he's black and brown. Anyway, super cute little dog, tiny. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I have these like chocolate covered almonds that I absolutely love.
Have or had?
Had. Past tense. Left them out on the counter last night, and they're all gone.
Oh,
I mean, I had it in a little bowl, so I just was like, I pick at them.
Right.
A couple here, a couple there. And I was like, either my boyfriend's son ate them, which I doubt because he wouldn't eat that much at once, or the dog ate them. And I could tell he was acting so funny this morning, and I was like, are you okay, bud? Are you having a little upset tummy?
I was going to say, the evidence shall present itself soon.
We're going to find some big doo-doos in the house.
Doo-doos from the don't.
Doo-doos from the don't.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of feel sad for you, but I don't really feel sad for you. Poor little buddy. I do, but anyway. So yeah, we could just go.
We digress.
Yeah, well, no, I love stories. I mean, I think stories is what makes, like businesses is what makes people. Yeah. It's the excitement behind who we are, and so I think it's really, really valuable to learn and to listen to these stories. So it's really cool. But yeah, let's get back to your business and what is the out of the 4 things or 5 things that you do? What is like the one thing that you love?
I love them all. I love organizing because it involves creativity. So I have a degree in graphic design, and I love solving problems and helping people.
Yeah.
And that checks all those boxes where you go in and you see a situation and it's impacting the productivity, the effectiveness of whomever the client is, and then coming up with creative solutions to, put those things together. And oftentimes on a job, when I'm in the space, I'll come up with things, but then I'll go home, go to sleep, and then I'll wake up and be like, oh my gosh, what if we did this? And you go back the next day, and if the client likes it, that's always exciting. So I'm results oriented. So I love taking something and making it, just better and cleaner and more streamlined.
That's great.
I mean, I love the pets too, though, because for me that's therapeutic. It's the people that I sit for in Queen Creek. They're always thanking me, but I'm always thanking them because it's nice to have a couple of days with just these little creatures who want nothing but love and food, and they don't judge you, they don't ask you any questions, and so I think that's really important.
I love that.
And then and really the dog and house sitting go together.
Yeah.
I have yet to just watch someone's home. There's always been a pet involved. And of course then there is the singing. My situation is somewhat unique in that people are always very kindly suggesting, oh, there's this bar, you can sing here and you can sing there. And I've been there, done that. Yeah. I prefer to do private events for high-end clients, corporate events, people who can pay me for the service that I provide. I'm going to be on time. I have my own sound equipment. I'm going to come looking however, really nice. I'm going to, give you an hour-long set, not a 45-minute, whatever we agree to.
Sure.
I'm going to do that. And because I work with tracks, if it's a song that I don't know, I can purchase the track, the backing track, and learn it. And then if there is no track, I can play the song. And
I
so
love that. What kind of genre do you typically sing?
whatever.
Really?
Yeah, I used to sing at a couple of high-end country clubs in Texas, and there I did like a lot of Sade and like, the Diana Krall, and because people are eating and I'm in this small space, which is another good thing about me is that I'm not a band. I'm just me with my sound equipment. I mean, I have a very small footprint, and I can control my sound. And so...
Ooh,
I mean,
girl.
Yeah, so
that's
what
fun. I mean, you have a variety of skill sets that you've been able to kind of monetize, which is so cool. Not a lot of people can just be like, I'm really good with this, and then run with it and make something out of it. So I guess what was your you have a lot of inspiration just listening to you and talk about what you're doing, but like, where did these individual inspirations come from? Like, let's start with the organizing. What kind of started that for you?
I think my father was in the military. He was in the Air Force for 22 years. And my mom was not. They're both have passed on. But I saw the advantage and disadvantage of being in a home that was organized and being in a home that was not organized.
Gotcha.
Right? And as I began to, go through life, I found that life is much easier when you know where everything is.
Sure.
Even when you get ready to move or when you are moving, it just makes life easier, and it saves you time to be able to say, where's my phone? Oh, here's my phone in this one place where I keep my phone.
Yeah.
And it just it eases it removes a lot of stress.
Gotcha.
And so that's where the organizing came from, is that I was leaning more toward Dad's tendency to, make the bed a certain way. And I don't make my bed now, though. I'm like, what's the point? I'm just going to get back in it.
That's what my boyfriend says. I tend to love coming home to a made bed. I don't know. I grew up having to make my bed, so I think that stemmed from my parents being like, the first thing you do is make your bed, put your PJs away. You had certain things we had to do. And that was the one thing that stuck with me since I could remember.
Wow.
I was probably 4 or 5,
Man,
making my bed. Yeah.
As a kid, I was up out the door. I would put on any clothes. My mom was like, that doesn't match right. I'm like, I don't care. I got playing to do. I got to get outside.
I got to go do some playing.
Trees to climb. I got rocks to eat, whatever I need to do. So, but yeah, awesome. So that's where that came from. The pets, grew up with pets.
Yeah.
But now I would prefer my leather sofa over a dog, right? And I know that I know I've lived with or dated men who have had animals, and I know what it's like. And it's like, it's so much easier to have to live vicariously through other people's pets than to have,
your own.
Yeah, I've seen my friends pay $4,500 for, their dog ate something and has a blockage and there's emergency surgery and
always a risk.
Yeah, so this is just pet sitting is like, I get to be with these babies.
Because you love animals. You can just see, like, I remember when you first met Scout, you're like, oh my God, he's so cute.
And they're just, I don't know, animals, I always say animals are the greatest people on the planet.
Oh, yeah. You know what they are. I mean, I've similar to you, grew up with pets, and like at one point, my parents live out in the middle of nowhere, so we had a lot of like land and space for them to run and play and stuff. And we had at one point, like, one of our dogs had puppies, so with the puppies, we had like 9 dogs at one time. We didn't keep them all.
Oh, yeah.
But there was just a lot, right? And so, like, but everyone had names, and, like, growing up with tons of dogs and cats, and I was a cat person, too. I would say I'm more of a cat person. I love my cats. I actually named one of my cat, Kaya, the mascot of the year for Taylor to You.
Oh, okay.
And this is so much fun, right? So, just like a side, we're going down a rabbit hole real quick, but I made this AI. There's this app that I discovered where you can take a picture of a person or of a pet, and then you can write a script of what you want it to say, and you could find some kind of voice to attach it, and then AI brings it all together, and then it's literally my cat talking.
Oh, wow.
And then she's like, "Hi, my name is Kaya. Guess what? I am Taylor to You's mascot of the year." And it's so cute. I was like, yes. So, like, my cats are a big part of my life. And so I try to incorporate them into my business world. But similar to, like, I love your passion that you have. So I'm trying to think what other things that, in alignment with your purpose and your passion, you just have this joy about you. Like,
Thank you.
It's just coming off you just so clearly. I just love your vibration. It's a beautiful. And I swear, every time we get together, it's just like I'm always like, oh yeah, I always leave.
Yeah.
I leave you feeling good about myself.
Yeah,
I mean, she has
same
this.
here.
She has this impression, if you will, on people. So.
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful that Emily brought us together.
Me too.
Originally it was about the organizing piece. I was looking for extra help for the summer and kind of moving forward too. So hoping to use you in that capacity if I need extra help in my business. And also, but the pet sitting is kind of cool. What really kind of linked us is because I have a background in it. And you want to really get into it more and more. And I was like, oh my gosh, girl, I have like an index of information for you that we need to really dive into. And I can't wait to kind of do one-on-ones with you to kind of maybe mentor you, but like not just that, but just kind of share like, my experience.
Yeah, there's a structure. And I'm looking forward to that. I know you and I both have full plates for August, but I'm looking forward to, I love what in our mastermind group, the goal being to bounce things off of each other and get feedback. We might not agree with the feedback or the advice, but it's just always good to have that other perspective and then to take that extensive experience and to be able to share that with other people so that, and from a perspective of not a competitive, like, well, I'm not going to show this person how to do this because they're competing. It's like you offered, you're like, I want to be your mentor. And I was like, yeah, that's great. And then, and that was recently. So we've had to kind of get things up and running. But I appreciate it. And I think it's important. I used to do mastermind groups a long time ago when I was into the whole law of attraction and such, that type of thing. And all of that plays into this as well.
Absolutely.
At a deeper level. But I think being part of that, a cohesive group, people whose opinions you trust, whose experience you can rely on. I think that's really important. I think the only thing in my big four that I kind of have to rely on myself for is the singing. And that's where I reach out to people who fit a certain avatar, if you will, that will say, okay, yes, we're going to have a private party in our home, or we're going to rent out an entire restaurant and we just need some entertainment, but we don't want an overwhelming band, but yet we want to dance, that sort of thing. And so it's just trying to find those connections. And I've only been in Arizona now for about 3 years. I don't have a strong network of people here, but it's starting to build. So.
And I think with time, as you develop connections and networks, you start to kind of rely a little bit more heavily on those connections and then them on you, and then you just have this, like you said, cohesiveness. And that's what I love about our mastermind. It's hard to be a solo entrepreneur.
It is.
Like you have yourself and I at all times, and you don't really have like a soundboard to bounce ideas off of.
Right.
Or like, hey, I'm thinking about X. What do you guys think? Like,
Right.
you know, and even though you're not in the same business together, you're not developing out strategies in that particular thing together, it's so important, I feel like, to have that I guess that support system of other people kind of to be on an occurrence, just continuation of support.
Yeah.
I think that's huge.
One of the things that you mentioned that I never would have thought of, it was either you or someone else that who Emily connected me with, having a backup for pet sitting. I think it was you.
Probably.
You never think about, like, I'm booked all the way into next year, and it's just like you have to make sure that, hey, what if, you know, what if in the middle of that dog sit, house sit, you know, something happens, you know, like I was recently out of town and, you know, got in a car accident. Who would have ever thought, you know?
Right,
you just
right.
never know.
Well,
so.
accidents happen and things come up very suddenly sometimes that you'd have no, you know, and so, you know, when you're offering a service, whether it's pet sitting, organizing, whatever, having an idea of like, okay, you know, no matter what happens, I can make sure I can follow through, or my company can make sure it happens for them versus, because I mean, that's one thing actually, I remember a mentor of mine brought that idea to me when I first started pet sitting, God, back in like, I don't know, 2012, I think 2013, when I started the pet sitting company. And gosh, I remember back then it was like, he's told me, he's like, well, what happens if your car breaks down or you're in the hospital and you're pet sitting? Like, who's going to be there? And I'm like, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I need to have a backup system. I need to have people I can rely on to be like, hey, so-and-so is the lead. This is the backup. If something happens to the lead pet sitter, then the backup can follow up and take over and have a system in place, you know, for anything to happen, any occurrence. And that's the one thing that I think really drove people to my company back then is the reliability.
Right.
Right. And then it's just no matter what, someone's going to be there.
Yeah.
You know,
so
like, so like giving you certain tools of things I've learned along the way and kind of seeing you develop them out and grow and kind of create your own empire, if you will, of these certain skill sets is just, it's
my
just
pet sitting empire. It's like, where's the wind? And then
okay, that's when you start singing.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. There you go.
Woo! Dude.
No warm up, no water.
Yeah, you're doing good, girl. That was like, and that was so improper too. Like that just happened.
Yeah. I'll get on any stage. If there's a stage, plan this. I'm going to be on it.
I know. She and I barely had a conversation about coming in here, and I was like, "You're cool. I'm cool. Let's go." Okay.
Didn't you come in one morning and I was here? I was sitting in the
Yeah. Actually, she was here the whole time. And I show up.
How'd you get here? Yeah.
I guess we just start talking.
Right.
Oh my gosh. So singing is definitely your skill set. I don't have a voice to save my life, and if I tried, I wouldn't have an audience. Well, so I won't even go there.
Maybe I'll teach you how to sing. You teach me how to, whatever.
Oh my gosh. No, we'll go ahead and skip that part.
Okay.
But like going back to organizing, I wanted to ask you another question about what was what was the biggest thing you've learned when you help organize for people?
That you have to, that word bespoke comes into play there for sure.
Sure.
Custom. I know that there are national organizations, local organizations, whatever, that have these, things go this way, things go that way. And I believe that it's important for the client to be able to maintain what you set up for them. They've got to live in it.
Sure.
And you can put everything exactly the way that the guidelines say, but if the client is not comfortable with it, then what is the point? And so I think it's really important to interact with the client on regularly throughout the process to say, how does this look? Does this work for you? And even if there's pushback, to kind of explain why, well, here's my thinking. Down the line, if we put everything on the left side of XYZ, you're not going to be able to get to, to whatever. How frequently are you accessing or need accessing to these, or I'm sorry, how frequently do you need access to whatever it is that you're organizing for them? So I don't believe that one size fits all when it comes to, there's some general things, but for the most part, it's got to be, the client has got to be comfortable with what you're doing. And know how to live in it and maintain it. So.
Well, yeah, and I would go even perhaps a step further and see that they kind of have to give you insight of their functionality process, because everyone has a routine no matter if they follow it or not. Or they know it, actually, not follow it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, everyone kind of already has a routine, so similar to you, I want to learn what that is. Like, okay, what do you do when you first wake up in the morning? Where do you put your keys when you just get home, or your purse, Like, where does the mail go? Like, just the basic little things that tend to pile up if you don't pay attention, right? So I don't know. So we have so much commonality. I've really, really loved this conversation. I mean, we could talk for hours and hours, which we will.
We will.
We'll have you back.
Oh.
We're going to have you come and do a singing set.
Oh, I'd love to.
At some point. I would love to, just share that with the world. Like, you're a beautiful person. You have so much to offer. Incredible things. And I'm just so grateful for you.
My head is just like
expanding. I know. Just take it in. Accept it.
Okay. I received.
Okay. Well, thank you, Bridgette, so much for coming. Awesome.
All right.
Hey, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. Again, this is Get Tailored Tailored to You podcast. Again, my name is Nicole Taylor. Thanks for coming. Oh, yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like, share with your friends. This one is amazing. Take care. If you're loving what you've heard today, be sure to hit the subscribe button, give us a like, and share this episode with your friends. We're here to bring you more valuable tips and inspiring stories, and we would love for you to be a part of our journey. Your support means the world to us. Let's keep the conversation going.